I'm Kasey Funderburg, and I got next.
Mr. Sandman, let's go along. Bum, 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 bum. Don't have nobody to call my own. Bum, 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 bum. Please turn on your magic beam. Mr. Sandman, bring me. Mr. Sandman, bring me. Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
What it do, SLT Nation? Welcome back to another just exciting episode of Sports Life Talks. You got next. We keep it professional on this episode, ladies and gentlemen. We got another person that is inspiration to us as we create our story. We brought in Vols sideline reporter, on-air talent, Kasey Funderburg to the show. How are you doing, Kasey?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Hey, we're excited. I am your host, the Mouth of the South, B. Jones. I'm rocking alongside of my colleague, my partner in crime, the head coach, KT. If you aren't familiar with You Got Next, this is a show where Kev and I are scouring the planet. We are trying to find amazing stories of awesome human beings doing amazing things and accomplishing big dreams. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. And today, we have another great story. And I'm just going to be honest with y'all. When we started Sports Life Talk, it had a lot to do with it. We wanted to have a sports show, but we wanted it to be more than just sports. We wanted to talk about fashion, relationships, how a player being traded from one team to another really can impact. And today, this young lady is going to bring it on. She is the definition of sports, life, and talk. Now, before we get started and we talk to Miss Funderburg here, we need to ask you guys out there to do us a quick favor. We are in what we call the takeover. We are trying to grow the show, and we can't do this without your love, without your support. Something that won't cost you a penny but will go a mile for us is if on the count of three, we all join hands in unison and we can smash that subscribe button. Are y'all ready? Kev, you ready? Kasey?
I'm always ready.
I know you are, man. Now, sometimes I question it, though. 1, 2, 3, boom! For those of you who just smashed that subscribe button, welcome to the SLT family. You just got a front row seat to all kind of amazing content. We drop You Got Next on Thursdays and Sundays, and you will be notified of this episode and many, many, many more. So without further ado, Kev, I'm getting nervous. It's the beauty, it's the travel, it's everything everything that you want in a sideline reporter. We got it here on the show today. Kasey Funderburg, welcome to the show. Sports, lifestyle, former track athlete, reporter. I mean, you do it all, Kasey. How are you today?
I'm doing great. That's a lot of compliments. You're going to make me get a big head here. But
you deserve it. All of the roses.
You.
I wish I could just hand a dozen roses over there to you. All right, Kasey. Well, listen, we welcomed all your people who supported us to the SLT family, but you gotta go through a little bit extra. All right, so we are about to enter into the Sports Life Talk initiation. Kevin, let's go.
So, Kasey, to initiate you into the SLT family, you gotta give us your top 5 music artists.
Top 5. I'm going to start with Machine Gun Kelly. Love him. Love the mix of like rap and rock. He's been more of like punk rock lately. Second, The Weeknd, specifically his Beauty Behind the Madness album. I love like every single song on there. Polo G, love him. New album's really good. Love Black Hearted and Painting Pictures. That's so good. Her is my next one. Kalani. And then I feel like because I am from Sevierville, Tennessee, and Dolly Parton is from Sevierville, Tennessee, it only makes sense to put her on there, and I absolutely love her. So a big mix of artists and genres there.
So B. Jones, Machine Gun Kelly, Dolly Parton, Polo G. Those are all those 3 new ones, right?
Yeah, all 3. She killed it. She killed it with the new ones. But I don't know, Kev. You know, she's Tennessee. I'm an LSU diehard Louisiana. I'm also an Eminem fan, and she's a Machine Gun Kelly fan. I don't know if we're going to make it 30 minutes here without getting into it.
Well, that'll just help me later on in the show. So that'll help me out later on in the show, even though I like Florida Gators too. All right, so I'm kind of reluctant to ask you this question because I know the answer to one of them at least. Can you give us some of your favorite sports teams?
So obviously the Vols. Love the Titans. Grew up a Titans fan once they came to Nashville.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a Saints fan now, and I say that because I've got some former Tennessee players who I'm friends with who play for them. So obviously got to root for them unless, they're playing the Titans. And they are this year.
I was about to say, we got the Titans this year.
November 14th, I think.
I don't know the exact date, but I'm a diehard Saints fan, and their schedule looks daunting. We have the Titans.
My family were season ticket holders, so I'll probably go to that game because I was like, I love the Titans and I love my guys who I'm friends with on the Saints. So I'm trying to think who else I like. Cubs. I'm a Cubs fan. I love baseball, and I love basketball, but I'm not really tied to an NBA team at all. Like, I just don't I don't know. There's not one player, one team that just has really brought me in yet. And I don't know if it's because I didn't grow up really watching it when I was younger, but those are probably my top teams, I would say.
I don't want to do any name dropping, but is number 41 a friend of yours?
I would say more of an acquaintance.
Okay, I was about to say, because that's a dog. Yeah, that's a good friend.
We did go to school together, and I did get to interview him when he was back on campus a couple months ago. But I'm better friends with a couple of the younger guys.
And one of those younger guys, I'm praying he has a huge season. We need him at wide receiver. He was all SEC, by the way. I'm not gonna go there. Let's go. Let's turn it up. Keep going, Ken.
Yeah, could you please? Because we talked about the Saints. I'm pretty sure we're going to mention LSU. We've already done that.
Probably.
We're talking about Tennessee. It's just, this is rough for me. Okay, so Kasey, who is your favorite superhero and why?
Okay, I'm going to have to go with Iron Man. And I say that because he's very smart. Being able to create the suit and all of his other creations that he did. I love the Marvel series, so those are kind of my favorite ones. But I just think he's good at what he does. His character is really sarcastic and funny. And then also he's just really smart, and I think his suit's pretty cool in what all it does. So.
Okay, because I think his wife is named Pepper. So we're going to call you Pepper for this episode. So Pepper, since every good superhero needs their own theme music, what would your theme song be?
Okay, so asked some of my coworkers who are also very good friends of mine, and someone gave me the song Bossy as my theme song, which kind of fits in a way, but not to sound super basic or anything. But I think the song Confident by Demi Lovato could be my theme song. Has some good messaging in there and kind of, how I like to live my life. So yeah, one of the two, a mix of Bossy and Confident.
Okay, so B. Jones, I think it's safe to say that she's in the family and we can continue.
Hey, I don't know. I thought she was going to pick Rocky Top as her favorite song. It is literally the greatest collegiate fight song in the history. I'm an LSU guy, and you gotta bow down when Rocky Top comes on, because it is phenomenal. And for some odd reason now all of a sudden it's stuck in my head. All right, so Kasey, you've been grinding. I mean, you're all over the place. You're international. You're going to travel. You got a bomb podcast. You're working with the Vols. I see you with the ESPNU microphone. When did you realize that Kasey Funderburg was going to be a journalist? When did that part of your story start?
So I can remember the exact moment that I decided I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. And it was in high school, my senior year. I was sitting on the couch watching an NFL game one night with my dad, and the sideline reporter pops up. And I was like, that seems like a cool job. I think I want to do that. And that's literally how it started. I told my dad that, and he's the type of person who just really encourages me to follow my dreams and pushes me, and he's a big dreamer himself, so it's easy to talk about that stuff with him. But I just said I want to do that, and I want to go to a school that's good for that. And I only visited 2 schools because I have one of the best schools to go to in the state that I'm in, which was the University of Tennessee. So that's how I decided I wanted to go into sports broadcasting. And then I grew up playing sports. I played basketball and ran track. So I knew that, whatever I did, I wanted to be involved in sports somehow. And so that was like a good mix, putting my love for talking and being around people and sports together. So that's kind of where it all started.
Now, you threw the track background in there, and then you didn't just run track. I mean, you ran track. We talking cross country. You ran the long events. So I know you have a lot of toughness in you. How did you translate your athletic background and utilize that as you prepare for what you do in becoming a sports announcer? How did you transition that, hey, I do track, but I love watching football, I love watching basketball, and how do you use that same energy when you go onto the sideline and prepare for a show?
Well, I think like having a sports background, even though I didn't get to go to the highest level in my athletic career, I still have an understanding of athletes. I have an understanding of what it means to grind, what it means to push through things, adversity, all that. So I feel like when I go to interview someone, or when I'm going to sideline, or just anything in my job, I can kind of see into the mind of an athlete. And a lot of people who haven't played sports or don't have that competitive spirit sometimes don't see that side of athletes. I could be wrong, but that's just kind of what I assume there. But I feel like that background just helps me do a better job of coming up with questions and focusing on like the mentality of the athlete. And it's not like, oh, why did you do X, Y, and Z? I can go more in depth with my questioning because I have a better understanding of what they're doing or what they're going through. And especially in basketball, since I played basketball too for 10 years. So when I sideline or when I interview guys, I like know offenses, defenses. I know, what you have to do to score and all this stuff. So it makes, asking those questions a lot easier too.
Now, how tall are you, Kasey?
I'm only 5'6", so I'm not very tall.
Now, Kevin is 6'2", but he talks so much trash like he can hoop. Can you go get buckets on Kevin? Can you still get buckets, Kasey?
I'm not too bad still. I still kind of got it. I have to ice a little bit afterwards, though. I'm kind of losing that bounce back. But
I know. You say that bounce back game real, huh? All right. So I know that a lot of people look at these sideline reporters. It has been so hard for women to get the opportunities that you right now are. You're still a trailblazer in my mind, right? To go out there and do what you do as a living. So what is your favorite part about being a sideline reporter and an on-air talent?
I think just being able to tell stories of these athletes and being able to tell people something about these athletes that's just more than like, oh, here's his stats. Because athletes just people in general have amazing stories as to where they got to where they are today. A lot of guys have gone through so much adversity just to play a college sport. And so to be able to be another voice for these guys and girls is one of my favorite parts. And a lot of people tell me, they're like, oh, I love that little tidbit you had about so-and-so. And that just makes me happy because people are listening. They're hearing something about these athletes that make them special. And that was kind of the whole point of, I'm kind of going off topic here, but the podcast, the podcast that I do for the Tennessee football team, it's all about their story, the things that make them them. It's not necessarily just the sport itself. And so that's just one of my favorite things, is just talking about them as people and being able to just be another voice for someone. Because I feel like people just get so caught up in, athletes being athletes. He just plays football. She just plays basketball. He just runs track. And it's like, no, they actually do so many other things. And so I just love being able to learn about those things and then also, tell people their stories as well.
Well, I was going to ask you about your podcast. So see, we already vibing. You answered that question in advance. So I got one last question for you.
Okay.
How special is it to live out your dreams? You were a senior. You sat on the couch. You saw this sideline reporter. You said, that's what I want to do, Dad. And to do it for your alumni. How sweet, how amazing is that opportunity? And what does it mean for you to be able to go out there week in and week out and do what you love to do and do it for the university that you chose and that chose you?
Well, it obviously means a lot to me, probably more than someone who didn't go to the University of Tennessee. I grew up a Tennessee fan, so I obviously loved the school to begin with. I grew up watching Lady Vol basketball, Pat Summitt, and so to be able to work with a team that I once thought I was going to play for when I was younger is just truly incredible. And you know, when I came to college my freshman year, I said, I'm going to be the reporter for the University of Tennessee. That's what I told myself. I had no idea of what you were supposed to do. I didn't know I was going to have to learn all these things, but I said, it's somehow going to happen. That's what I want to do. It's not my end goal, but it is, you know, where I wanted to start. And so the 3 years that I was in school, I just focused on that, and then, you know, slowly became this person that I am now with Tennessee. And I think it's just because of the love that I have for these teams, for these coaches, for the people that work at UT. I truly love the school and I love the university. And I think that's what's helped me be able to get where I am today.
Okay, if you could interview anyone, past or present, who would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, that's a good question. I think I just mentioned her name, Pat Summitt. I think being able to interview her would have been one of the coolest things for me, because I have a picture of me from the second grade at Lady Vol basketball camp with Pat Summitt. And she was just someone, like, when she took the floor, you listened, you stopped talking, you paid attention to what she had to say. And I think it just would have been so cool to one day sit down with her and talk to her about, you know, if I were interviewing her today, it'd probably be about the season coming up if she were still the coach or something. So, but just, she was an idol of mine growing up. I wanted to be her player. Like, I looked at how she coached. I watched all of her teams. And so I think it would be really cool and a very full circle moment if I got to sit down and interview her.
Okay, so yeah, because she's the GOAT for real.
What
is something that you learned from your profession that you can use in everyday life?
Ooh, that's a good question. I've learned how to listen a lot better. Obviously, being a reporter, you have to listen to what people are saying. And, you know, I did that, but you learn how to do it a little bit better. You learn how to listen and when to close your mouth and, you know, let someone else talk. So that's something that's helped me in just my everyday life, because I feel like I listen to people a little bit better when they're talking or when we're having discussions. And then also, this job is a grind. College athletics, they don't stop. This is like my one time of year where I get a little bit of a break. So I've kind of learned how to push through adversity. There were times where I didn't even think I would have the job that I have now. So I've had to just be confident in myself and what I can do. And I think this job has really helped me in everyday life, you know, being confident and being able to overcome obstacles and challenges, because, you know, in my job, the equipment stops working and you have to figure out how to fix it real quick and not freak out. And so now I'm learning how to do that with just like everyday things, is not freak out, just take a second, figure it out. And typically everything always works out.
All right. So what is the best piece of advice someone has given you?
To take the no's. You're going to hear lots of no's. Don't let it get to you. And luckily I haven't let that get to me. I'm just like, okay, cool, let's move on. So that's something, like, just hearing that you need to be open to criticism and to hearing the no's has really just helped me not to like beat myself up, I guess, when it comes to stuff. And it's to the point now where I seek out criticism. I want people to look at my sidelining and tell me, like, hey, where could I have done better? And when someone tells me you should have done XYZ, I don't try to argue and say, well, this is what blah blah blah. I'm just like, okay, thank you for that. Thank you for taking time to give me feedback and what I did. So that's, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, and I hope that B. Jones heard that, because that was...
Hey, we got a long way to go, brother.
Yeah, shoot, as many knows we've got. All right, Kasey, so this is the part where I get into your business, okay?
Okay.
You said that you play basketball. So you said you played basketball, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I assume that you watched the movie Love and Basketball.
I have seen it, yes.
Okay, so let's just pretend that you are Monica Wright. Is there a Quincy McCall in your life?
There is not.
What?
No. I don't have time.
Okay, all right. It's not because,
I'm about to say, because I know good.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Being a sideline reporter, how many athletes have hit on you?
I haven't kept count.
Wow.
But you definitely, I have to kind of like set that boundary with my guys. And, you know, I'm working with college athletes, freshmen who are just, you know, but yeah, I mean, there's been some people, college, professional, but you know, I want to be friends with everybody. So I let them know that, like, hey, we can be friends. I love that. But other than that, we probably need to just kind of move along.
Okay, so I got to ask you this.
Get a Kev.
I got to ask you this. Is there a athlete or celebrity, if they slid in your DMs, that you would be like, okay, let's see where this goes?
Like a crush.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's probably a few that I would be like, okay, let's see where this will go. Gosh, I'm trying to think. There was one guy recently from the Bachelorette. He ended up being with the girl that he chose, but I was like, oh, well, if I ever met him, Matt James, I would definitely go for him for sure. Go ahead.
I can actually see you doing the Bachelorette. I think, the Bachelor. I can't remember which one. It's the reverse way, but I can see you actually doing that show. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're great personality. I mean, everything about you screams a show like that. Would you be open to doing a show like that?
That's funny you say that. My sister nominated me, I think last season, and I think I've had other friends kind of nominate me to go on there. I don't know, because I really like my job and I wouldn't want to quit my job to potentially be sent home night one.
No, I mean the other one. I mean, like, you're the star. You're the star.
She's the Bachelorette.
We get 25 guys. Yeah, you're the Bachelorette, and we get all the guys, and you get to interview them and go on all the dates and give the roses and send them home, send them packing crying on national television.
I think I could do that. It would be hard. It would be very hard, but I would definitely do that for sure.
I'm nominating you for that. I'm gonna nominate you for that next year. So
that's my backup plan.
All right, B. Jones, let's get into the championship round.
Well, hold on, I got one other question for him, because
I thought you would.
I don't know if you can see behind me. It's a little blurry. You know, that's the way these webcams work. But I'm a sneakerhead, and going through your platform, you got some sneakers. You are not afraid to rock a fresh new pair of AJ1s or some Yeezys. So are you a sneakerhead? Am I looking at another sister sneakerhead here on the?
I'm trying to be. I'm working my way there. I love sneakers though. I think you can wear sneakers with any kind of outfit, and I think everyone can pull off a sneaker. I have so many friends who are like, I couldn't wear that. And I'm like, yes, you can. Love my Yeezys though. I think those are my most comfortable shoes. I love my Air Jordans too. I think they're cooler, but my Yeezys are so comfortable. The Yeezy Boost 350s. I love them.
You gotta drop those model numbers, Kasey. When we get offline, I'm gonna go grab my wife. I'm gonna need you to tell her that whole spiel. Just do it. Save it just like that. All right, Kev, you're looking serious. You about to get your head cracked, but are you ready for this championship round, sir?
That should have been my line, because remember who won the last one.
Oh my goodness. You're always talking about old stuff. Kasey, welcome to championship rounds. It's a part of the show where Kevin and I, we go carnivorous on each other. And this becomes a sibling rivalry. Man against man, host against host, and you get to sort out all of this madness, and you are guiding the way. All right. Have you ever played the game Would You Rather?
Yes.
All right, so this is very simple rules. We both present to you an option. You select one. Whichever host you select gets the point. The first host gets 2 points. Best out of 3 will win this episode's game of championship round. Kasey Funderburg. All right, so this is if you're keeping up with us and watching out there in TV land. Kevin is now in the lead, 28-27.
Ooh, so we can make it a tie today.
Hey, it's time for LSU and Tennessee to come together and make this happen. 2 states, 1 soul. All right, are you ready for this?
Yes, let's do it.
And if you got any questions, if we present you something crazy, if you got more questions, feel free to ask. Kevin, you are the defending champion, sir. I will acquiesce to you.
Since you've been trying to butter her up the whole show, Kasey, just remember who reached out to you. It wasn't him. It was
Semantics.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I'm taking
All right,
notes.
Kasey. See, there we go. All right, Kasey. Would you rather become a legendary broadcaster for a team of your choice or
work on any sports network of your choice with your own nationally syndicated show?
Ooh, I'm going to have to go with the network and my own show. Because then you get to work with all sorts of teams.
I feel a hoot coming on. All right, Kasey, we rocking and rolling. Bachelorette, we got it in the
Oh my
building. Round number 2. Kasey, now you got a dope podcast. Would you like your podcast, The Slice, to go viral and become a top 10 podcast, or
I'm about to lose, have your blog sponsored by Nike and you can go anywhere they tell you to go?
Ooh, that's tough. Fun fact about the Slice, we did go into the top 15 all-time sports podcasts at one point on Apple last year, but a Nike sponsorship, I think I'm going to go with that.
Oh, we had to sweep Kasey. Oh.
I'm not going to lie. I thought I was going to lose that one.
But I love Nike, so it's hard to say no to that.
All right, so round 3 for it all. Kasey, would you rather be a sideline reporter for one national championship game or
get your own show in which you get to travel around the country and highlight the best college venues and cities and pre-games of all time?
Oh, national championship. I'm so sorry to let you down.
That's okay, Pepper. That is okay.
Let me send my email to NBC and cancel this Bachelorette thing, man. That was all overhyped anyway.
I see how it is now.
No, I'm just saying. Congratulations, Kevin.
What'd you say, B. Jones? We should be playing that Rocky Top song right now. Right now, I agree with you. We should play that through the whole episode.
Right, that's still a dope song. All right, so Kasey, the title of the show is You Got Next. So, people are looking at this right now. They're like, so what does the future hold for Kasey Funderburg? You've already checked off one of the biggest boxes. You're on the sidelines. You're doing it for the school you love. What does the future hold for you?
Well, I'm hoping just to keep climbing the ladder. I'm on the sidelines for radio with football, so I'm wanting to be on the sidelines for TV. With basketball, I get to do SEC Network digital games. So those are on TV, but they're through the app. I'm wanting to do the actual televised games. So my goal is just to keep working my way up, hopefully work for a network. I love the SEC, so it'd be very cool to, work with them and cover the teams that I grew up watching. So the next thing for me is just to keep working hard, keep grinding, doing what I'm doing, and hopefully that next opportunity will come around.
All right.
Oh, I thought you was going to say something else, B. Jones. Okay,
nah,
Kasey.
she broke it down.
Yeah, she did.
Normally I have a follow-up question, but hey, I'm speechless. She got me with that one. So
that's the first time ever. Okay, Kasey, where can people find you on social media?
So on Instagram, you can find me. It's Kasey with a K_Funderburg. And then on Twitter, I'm going to have to look at it because I forget what my Twitter name is all the time. It is K Funderburg, I believe. K_Funderburg.
And do you have any shout-outs?
I'll give a shout out to my VFL Films family at the University of Tennessee. They are who I work for. We're the athletic broadcasting department at Tennessee, and I work with probably the most talented college athletics video people in the country. I think our guys are the best guys. I'm a little biased, but I really do think that. So just a shout out to them, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be as good as I am today. And they just truly mean the world to me. So shout out to them.
Hey, so Tennessee footballers went through it over the last couple of years. I think you guys are going through another coaching transition, right?
Yes, we have a new coach, Coach Heupel.
Yep. And that's a good coach. I wish he would have went to LSU as offensive coordinator for a couple of years. But how long do you think it's going to take before those guys, before Rocky Top is played in the college football playoff?
Oh my gosh, I would hope it's this year. I'm not sure. You know, we got a good coaching staff in right now, and they are not only good coaches but great people. I've never been around a coaching staff like this before, so I'm hoping that, you know, they're going to bring us to the top, bring us back to where Tennessee football used to be. And, you know, we've got some really great guys on this team this year, and we've had some really great guys in the past, obviously. So people want to come to Tennessee. They want to play for Tennessee. So hopefully we'll be back up there with the rest of them, because I know we can do it. A lot of people have confidence in us, and we've got some really great talent on this team this year, and it's young
really
talent.
do. Yes.
Yeah. It's young talent. So hopefully we can use that and, you know, build that up, and hopefully in the next few years really shock people, because I think people definitely don't expect us to do anything. But I think even this season, our team will surprise people, because these guys, they not only want to play for themselves, but they want to play for each other and play for their coaches. So I'm really excited to see what we do this year. It's going to be a lot different than what we've been used to.
Well, I'm excited to see what you do this year and the next year, and to keep following your amazing story, because Kasey Funderburg, you got next. You've been amazing. We want to thank you for stopping down with all your travel and busy work, and on your one little slither of free time, you joining our show. It means a ton to Kevin and I and SLT Nation. We so much appreciate it. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode. Man, I don't know. I hate it had to end. It was so, you know, we finally got somebody who could critique and tell you what you need to work on, Kevin. Listen, if you hadn't subscribed already, and please leave some comments. Let us know. Me and Kev are maniacal about engaging with the fan group. We want to talk to you guys, get your opinions. If I got robbed or not, if Kasey should have decided to go a different direction, please let us know. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to share this thing with a friend. Like I said, the takeover is here. We need your help to grow. We can't do it without you. So, and listen, like I said, you get great content. And also, Kevin and I, we go live Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we just talk about life. We talk about the same stuff we talk about, just friendships, relationships, Nike. It doesn't matter. We talk about a little bit of everything. And that's at Sports Life Talk. Kev, I know I'm missing something.
You didn't say YouTube or Facebook.
Oh, YouTube and Facebook. Thank you. That's why you're around, Kev. You the smart guy on this show. So, Kev, I'll let you leave. Since you're the champ right now, I'll let you get the last word, sir.
Kasey, we want to thank you, because your time is valuable. And the fact that you took 30 minutes out of your day to come and rock with us. You see I put the rock in there, B. Jones?
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. This is awesome.
Hey, Sports Life Talk Nation, we love you guys. We appreciate it. Y'all listen, stay safe, be blessed, and please take care of one another out there. The world has become a crazy place. We will see y'all again next time on Sports Life Talks. You got next. Yeet.